I'm here today. It's me, Some Yams, with Binsa.
Hi.
And Yummy Paper Towel.
Yo.
And we just saw...
Deepens his voice for the
That
recording.
literally wasn't that. I would have gone, yo.
We literally just got out of the theater for Jurassic World Rebirth. We're in Binsa's car, and we have some thoughts, I think.
Yeah.
We're going to start with no spoilers, and then if you want to see spoilers, skip to this section in the video. I really liked it.
I did too. I thought it was a good movie.
I
enjoyed
obviously,
it.
I think a lot of it is just... I think a lot of it might just be the fanboy in me.
Yeah, I agree.
But I had a good time. What do you think, Binsa?
I thought it was pretty solid. It's nothing like crazy new franchise reinventing. It's just kind of like... It's exactly what the trailers like put it out to be, I think.
Yeah.
If you think the trailers look good, I think you're going to enjoy it. If you're like, oh, I'm expecting more, I think you're going to be left maybe a little disappointed, but I don't know. Overall, I thought it was pretty solid.
The biggest note I had is it just doesn't feel Jurassic. Like it feels like a spin-off.
I feel like after like so many Jurassic World movies, especially like having them being the recent movies, I feel like it feels just a little bit strange following those ones. If it were to come out after Jurassic Park 3 or something, I would feel some sort of like connection or something. It just doesn't have a lot of connections to like the wider lore, I guess, of the series. It's kind of just like there's dinosaurs in this world and now we're interacting with them.
The best way I would describe it is just an Uncharted game with dinosaurs in it.
I think, yeah, like it really felt like a spin-off because there was almost no connection to any of the previous movies really, other than like a few mentions of things.
Yeah.
And it felt
like
really
like the
disconnected.
InGen logo just in random places.
Logo, and they're like, oh, it's a laboratory island, which I mean is said in the trailer, so it's not really a
It's
spoiler.
like,
but,
I
Yeah,
studied it.
the biggest mistake the movie made is just having all the dinosaurs just die out. I've said this a lot, but just that retcon is the worst.
I feel like that's a spoiler.
No, it's not. It's the main part. It's one of the first things in the trailer.
Really?
This is not really a spoiler because it happens in the first, 2 minutes of the movie. But immediately after, we get one of my favorite opening titles in the series. We also get the worst title crawl I have ever seen in a movie because it explains this information, and then immediately after, they not only show it, but they also tell it in a way that feels really natural.
Yeah, I feel like they could have just left that first scene, or first few scenes, explain the dinosaurs and stuff disappearing. But what I will say is, I did kind of it's kind of stupid, but I'm okay with it because they're still wild around the equator for the most part, right?
Yeah.
And they also said that I don't want to go into spoilers here, but there are still dinosaurs out and about, not out and about. I think they're pretty maintained.
Yeah,
and
but
kept.
they are around.
There are still ones that are not in the equator, but they're pretty
They're
kept
rare.
track of and rare.
Paper Towel, do you have any non-spoilery thoughts?
Yeah, it felt kind of formatted like a video game, in which it was boss, final boss, end sequence, end cutscene, and it just kind of felt like it felt like there was one string that went through the plot, but it wasn't very big. It felt like it was a bunch of different stories stitched together, which I mean isn't the worst thing in the world. I just feel like it wasn't
very continuous.
Yeah, I felt like there could have been more of an intentional feeling towards the main plot of the film and the stuff that actually mattered to the story.
This kind of felt like, they know the main plot and now they have to add dinosaur scenes to it. And so then they add a big dinosaur scene and it's really cool. And then it's okay, now there's a bit of walking around talking, and then there's another big dinosaur scene completely separate, and then walking around talking, and then another big dinosaur. It just felt like big stunts, I guess, one after the other. But I still liked it. I thought there was actually a lot of cool, memorable scenes because of that.
Oh yeah.
100.
Like the Rex raft scene was, I really liked it, despite it being completely spoiled in every trailer.
The weirdest thing to me is I think maybe the first half of the movie, this isn't too spoilery, but until they get on the island, it is very the best way I can say it, it's very plot heavy and very connected, but then after that, it's just kind of like, it almost feels like an anthology movie to an extent, of just random scenes that are just strung together, and then the final battle.
It was one of those movies that had me kind of actually smiling at a few scenes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was, part of it was genuinely wondrous. I don't know if that's the right word, but, you know, just, it made me feel like it, you know, because a bunch of these dinosaurs were either, like, changed or completely new, which means that it just felt so, like, the dinosaurs and the first times all felt a lot more impactful. And there were a few scenes that had me genuinely kind of just full of awe and kind of, I don't know, feeling of, I don't know.
I think we're about to get into spoiler territory, so let's just quickly give an arbitrary number score real quick. I'm going to say between a 6 or 7 out of 10 for me as a Jurassic super fan.
I feel like 5 out of 10s are usually like exactly in the middle, and that's how I rank this. Like a 5 out of 10 is a meh movie. So I will also agree and give it a 6 out of 10. Like, so it's better than meh. It's pretty solid. It's not a bad movie, and as a dinosaur fan, I'd probably give it like a 7 out of 10 because dinosaurs, high quality content. But as just like a movie, yeah, it's mostly just like a 6 out of 10 or something.
Yeah, I think, you know, in my personal, completely recency biased, plagued opinion, I would give it a 7 out of 10. I just think that overall it was lacking, but I think there were a few parts of it that carried it through and made it a little more enjoyable. I wouldn't say that by film standards it's a really good movie, but I would say as a recent Jurassic movie, it's pretty good.
Thanks for the vocabulary there.
Some were just a bit different.
Okay, now super spoiler time. Spoiler thoughts. I thought that all the action scenes I loved. Some of them could get silly at times with the way they ended, specifically, like Jonathan Bailey just falling off a cliff and being fine. Don't worry about it. No injuries.
That one was kind of stupid.
That was really forced. But other than some of the way they ended, I thought the action scenes, and specifically the death scenes, were really well done.
That Ket's death.
Oh my god!
Yeah, when it just walks up there, and they're like, "Oh my god, is he good?" And then it just walks up there with him.
Yeah, and you can see it follow down its throat. Oh, that was really cool.
The Ket's design, real quick. Ket's design,
so good.
Oh, I loved it so much.
It was so freaky when the dude threw the thing at it or shot. What did he do?
He threw the hammer or whatever.
He throws a hammer at it, and when it turns slowly,
oh
and then,
my god,
walks out of the cave,
I loved that.
and then just looks up at him like pissed as.
Yeah.
It was so funny. I was laughing. I was like, "Oh, he's."
It felt like one of those videos where it was like Jurassic Park if it was real, and it just had like a raptor moving really snappily.
Yeah.
That one Spino death too was brutal.
The first one or the second one?
Yeah, the one where he just grabs
the second
him and throws him over.
No, the one where he grabs that lady and just like you can hear him just tearing her up from behind the supply rack and just carrying her away.
The first one too, where like it's like it grabs the dude. And then it stops and looks at the little girl in the boat and then drags the dude in the water. Like, it pauses, like, oh, hey there. And then it, like,
that was freaky. I think
Spinosaurus design.
I actually liked it.
I liked it. I feel like its skull
I don't like the head. Other than the head, it looks good.
The skull has always been nerfed on the Spinosaurus, and I hate it. The sail was great.
This one looked more like alligatory than the paleo accurate one. The spine and the tail looked pretty paleo accurate.
Yeah,
but like
the
neck and the head looks a little bit strange.
I'm a sucker for paleo accurate dinosaurs. Cold take, I think.
The Mosasaur was pretty cool.
The Mosasaur looked really good outside of the kaiju-ness. Yeah. The T-Rex. Okay, they increased the T-Rex's size by a lot. I'm not the only one who saw that.
Times.
Okay, good.
Same with the Apatosaurus.
Yeah, the Apatosaur.
At the beginning of the movie, there's like an Apatosaurus in Brooklyn.
Oh yeah, it was gargantuan. It's like the size of the Titanosaur.
The Titanosaur was so fucking cool.
The Titanosaur herd sequence was my favorite thing in the movie.
Genuinely brought a huge fucking
I
smile
almost cried.
to my face.
I felt like Jonathan Bailey. I almost cried at that scene. I hate saying this, but it made me feel like a kid watching Jurassic Park again. The Rex River Raft scene though was perfect. I think they knocked it out of the park with that.
I wish they would have advertised it less.
The D-Rex...
Get onto that.
The way...
D-Rex was fucking huge!
D-Rex thoughts, I did not like it. It was my least favorite thing. Leading up to the movie, in the movie, it was such a cop-out of an action scene, I think, because they needed a final encounter thing. And unlike every other Jurassic movie where the final encounter has at the very least been built up, this is just in the intro, we see a flash of it, and then we see it at the end, and it didn't feel earned. It felt like they just needed...
Yeah, they just threw it in there. Like, I wish it would have done something in the middle of the movie, like took
and
someone,
also,
killed someone, like done something.
Like
the way it
stalking them,
the
like,
way it
yeah,
was handled,
them or something.
the way it was handled also, it felt like the final boss in a video game, just waiting in his area for you to come at him and like
why was it
and
still
fight
in
him.
Its pen?
It was still in its pen, which
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
No, it was just around it. No, the pen was the door. The door.
Yeah, it was behind the door.
It
was behind the door. You'd think we would have seen it across another scene for them to establish it.
I don't know. What I will say was really stupid, but kind of cool and caught me really off guard. Good, like, showing of the D-Rex almost fully was when it caught the helicopter.
Oh, yeah.
That was a cool reveal. It was a little stupid, but it was a really cool way to reveal its entire like body and size.
So I'm fine with it because it looked really cool, even though it didn't make sense. I like the idea of the Mutodons. I don't think they fit in Jurassic, and I wish
hybrids.
I wish they wouldn't be able to fly.
I
when
also
carried the raptor. I was like, no, you can't do that.
I wish. I think it would have been a lot cooler if they were just regular raptors in that scene. It would have just basically been a copy of that one scene in The Lost World in the gas station, because that's basically what it is.
Yeah.
And also, why is there like just a regular gas station on this test island?
I went over to Binsa and went, why is there a gas station on an island? And even though there's like an InGen, situation here, who's going to InGen?
It's a commercial gas station.
At a commercial, like, are people bringing over these like denim jackets to hang on this?
And
rack
usually
for the toy dinosaur.
There
was a toy dinosaur on a like not even commercial island. It was a testing experiment island.
But there was just
a toy dinosaur.
There was just a regular gas station.
I feel as though there could have been a much better way for the D-Rex to escape than a Snickers wrapper. But
oh my god,
fucking dumb!
I really liked the intro. Was really good. Outside of that one, just really weird aspect that they included where just a Snickers wrapper goes
shuts down
not
the
even
entire
not even
cage.
goes in the door. It goes underneath the door, gets sucked in, and because something got sucked into the door that prevents it from closing, and also not only shuts down the cage but shuts down the entire system and causes it to reboot.
I actually wish that scene would have been dragged out a little bit longer because I really enjoyed it.
I thought it was really cool.
Really good scene.
And
felt like Alien.
Yeah,
I thought there was a lot of potential there, but no, it was just a Snickers wrapper that single-handedly reboots the entire system. The movie as a whole was just really weird vibes. It feels like a spin-off. It doesn't feel like a mainline movie. And especially it feels disconnected from Jurassic Park. It feels like it takes place in a whole nother universe from just Jurassic World. It has connective tissue to Jurassic Park, but it feels like they just forgot Jurassic World existed.
They were like, oh, this island is full of like experiments for the park because dinosaurs weren't they're not enough anymore, which means it was an island for Jurassic World, not Jurassic Park like they advertised in the trailers. They just never referenced it. They could have thrown in an easy this is where they came with the idea for the Indominus Rex.
If anything, it more so goes unexplained in a similar way that it does in JP3. But at least in 3, like, the reason is just InGen did illegal breeding on Isla Sorna after Jurassic Park got shut down. In this movie, it's just thrown away as just InGen was just also doing illegal breeding again in a completely different island outside of the Los Cinco Muertes.
How do you catch a single Dunkleosteus head?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They also there was a Dunkleosteus head that just appeared
In a fishing net.
What was that huge creature that the boyfriend threw the stick at? We never saw that.
Oh,
That
and there
a
was
little
there was a
upsetting.
weird tentacle monster.
Yeah, that
in
we
the
never
water.
saw.
The family was my favorite plot line in the movie. I thought their adventures were a lot more interesting than the other crew.
I'm getting a little tired of Jurassic movies keeping all of their main characters alive, and
Because
then
they
like
can.
they only kill off like thugs and like
All
The
side
villain.
and the villain.
The villain
Like-
and thugs
just
get
like,
to die.
Just like mercenaries and thugs, always. Like it's been a recent trend, and it's kind of annoying.
I loved Mahershala Ali's character. He's a great actor. He was probably my favorite character in the movie.
mean,
it was
I
either him or the dad.
I saw myself as Jonathan Bailey. The Microceratops or whatever had like very little plot relevance to really be there.
You mean the Aquilops?
It's an aqualops.
Aqualops.
I told it that in the movie, and he just turns to me and
Aqualops.
goes, "I hate you."
Yeah.
I don't really think it needed to be utilized because it's just kind of a cute little toy
Yeah,
to
it's
sell
very
merch. I feel like one of the things that doesn't make it feel very Jurassic is the signature staples of the franchise were just kind of like, outside of Rex, really, we're just kind of like not even there. There was a dead Parasaurolophus. They did my boy dirty.
There's an Anki for like 2 seconds.
The idea of the mutations could work if they just made it to actual dinosaurs and did more interesting things with that.
Yeah.
Things
Yeah.
that would justify them being left on this dumping ground. Because, like, why did they just leave a Titanosaur on there? Okay, it was giant
Gorgeous.
and clearly oversized. Any other thoughts?
No?
All right. Well, take care, everyone.
Binsa out.
Yummy paper towel out. Study over.
Don't say that.